Hey y'all, I am Victory. I hope to provide insight to empower. And I wanted to share a story about when I was a kid, about 4 or 5 years old. Uh, my parents put me on the back of a horse out on a ranch in Mexico. It was big, this big black horse that seemed very cool, very calm at the time. Uh, they put me on the back, tell me to grab the reins, and then there's this pause, and the horse just stands up on its hind legs, lets out a loud ass whinny, and takes off sprinting. Everybody's running after the horse, trying to get it to stop. It's not working, and I'm just hanging on for dear life. I mean, it's a rush, it's a thrill. I was scared as hell and just grabbing on for dear life. And it's like that for a few seconds. It's overwhelming for a few seconds. And in that time, I had no other choice but to simply hang on. And, I've been in the Marines, I've been overseas, I've been deployed to Afghanistan twice, I've been in a few firefights. And there's always a moment where it gets really real, it gets really serious. There's fear, there's adrenaline, there's all types of energies, let's say, emotions, things that can be hard to deal with and hard to process, especially in the moment. Right? In that moment, we're reverted back to basically what we know, what we've memorized, and what we've been doing up until that point. Now remember that, because that's going to come up in a little bit. We fall back on our patterns, and that horse really grounded in, cemented a pattern for me. And this is something that I've found to be true, if that you look back into your life, into moments like these, thrilling moments, formative moments, especially in your earliest years, I believe this is some kind of, code that we can crack to make the most out of this life. When I look back to that moment on the horse from today, knowing what I'm going through and working on today, what I see is, the pattern is that when things get rough, I tend to be avoidant, or I get anxious. That's the unwanted pattern. If something reminds me of, a later, not even that long after that moment, but like later, in earlier years and teenage years, our attachment style, how we relate to other people and how we relate to ourselves, if it's not healthy, it can get us into that anxious pattern or that avoidant pattern, and both lead in some form or another to self-sabotage, really self-protection, because we want to protect ourselves from intimacy, from having to be in a situation where we are put at risk, putting ourselves at risk. Because what if that person betrays our trust, or betrays us in that moment of vulnerability, in connection, and in taking that risk of being intimate with somebody else, with yourself even. And I realize that for what I'm going through in this life, what helps me, especially with all the traumas and going through war and so many other things, what helps me heal my traumas is grounding my presence, my awareness in the present moment, and especially in my body. Being fully not just aware or present in my body, but really feeling myself in my body, head to toe, in the space around me, and especially being behind my eyes. When I'm not doing this, and especially, before I started meditating or getting into this healing journey, I would dissociate a lot. And what is dissociation? Is not being present, is being checked out mentally, emotionally, and your body is just going through the motions. And what this horse, this event, this experience taught me is that if I think of that horse like my emotions or my traumas or my experiences, especially my fears, and I remember especially to all those people who were really trying to help me but could do nothing in that moment, it really resonates with me. This overarching spiritual lesson that it's on me. It was on me in that moment because I had the knowledge of how to stop a horse, and all I had to do was hang on and remember and bring myself into a state of calm, at least long enough or calm enough to access that memory. Because if the adrenaline is taking over, all I'm thinking about is surviving. But if I can take a breath and create a little bit of space, then my mind has a little bit of space. A computer comes to mind, right? If you have all these programs running, if you know about RAM, it takes up that memory, that random access memory. It's like randomly accessed memories. It takes all that up and it really slows down your processing power, your computer. Everything is just moving really slowly, really inefficiently, ineffectively. But breathing and being present has allowed me to create a lot of space, distance from traumas getting their hooks in me, the fears from those traumas, the beliefs that I formed, creating space between who I am today and those old patterns. I've said this in a past video. Karma is memory-based action, and if our action is based on memories predominantly run by fear, then our actions will be run based on fear. But this is a moment, and I really believe that we all have these moments that we can look back to and realize we are strong enough, we are capable enough. And it may just take a few breaths and connecting, feeling into your body, being in your body, being behind your eyes, to access those memories. Yeah. To the spirit of overcoming, I am Victor E, and I hope this helps. Peace. Love you.